You guys, you can't tell. I'm crying right now. I'm like crying. And I'm so excited. And I'm going to tell you why after I take a shower and take care of this situation. But I just had to film this moment because seriously, like, whew, oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Shower. Shower. So, tears of joy. Let me explain. I'm so excited to tell you some very, very, very miraculous news. So the whole entrepreneurial journey was something that seriously changed almost everything about my life and who I am and my goals and just like everything just changed in a way that I never could have even anticipated. Because it makes such a drastic change, it also affects your relationships because, you know, you change. And one of the hardest parts of this entrepreneurial journey has been how my relationship has changed with my family. For the record, if you watched my last vlog, Alone on Christmas, the person who told me that I was behind was my dad. There are only very few times in my life where I can actually remember going into physical shock because of whatever situation that I was in. Your adrenaline rushes, you get lightheaded, you get dry mouth, your heart's racing, you know, like your body actually physically reacts. And like I said, I can only count a few times that's actually happened. But to hear my dad say that was one of the most painful situations, like experiences in my life. It really, just in that moment, I actually just left. So, you know, if you watch the video, if you haven't, pause this and go and watch it, just because I don't want to have to like explain everything that I was feeling again. But when that happened, like when he said that, I was going into shock. I could like physically feel it, but I was like, I have to get out of here because it's just not good for either of us. And you know, my mom and my brother were there too, so I just like tried to grab my stuff, but I was like fainting. I could feel it, and I ran out with my stuff to the car and collapsed, like I said in the video. My brother, I don't even know like what he was doing, but he was like, you know, trying to like rub my back and like try to help me like get up, but I just fell. I fell, and thankfully I could laugh at it now, but it was a really sad moment. I just like cried and wailed. I was so in such despair, you know, and like on this entrepreneurial journey, a lot of it has been very humbling. But I felt invincible, you know? It's like I've discovered so much of what I'm able to do and like my potential, my capability, that it's like every day I'm excited because I'm just like, damn, what am I gonna create today? You know, or like, what am I gonna do? Who am I gonna meet? How is like what's the next chapter? And you know, I'm so excited, but in that moment I felt completely powerless. Like I just felt like, wow, this is something that I literally have zero power to fix. Like there's nothing I can do, you know, there's nothing that I was gonna say to my dad to change how he felt, you know. And I realized that the reason why things have been tricky with my family is because they care about me the most, okay? And my parents are immigrants from the Philippines, and you know, they came here for the American dream because their lives were extremely difficult in the Philippines. Like, you know, I don't want to tell their stories because those are not my stories to tell, but just to give you an idea, you know, my dad, he would tell me like he was barely like 105, 110 pounds in college because there just wasn't any food, you know? And I remember the day that I took him to the cafeteria at UC Irvine when I was a student there. I was a freshman. And the cafeteria is like buffet style. And when he saw the food and the abundance, and especially the kids who just weren't finishing their food and they would just like throw it in the trash, he literally started crying, you know? And I felt bad because I've been a crappy student my whole life pretty much, and I think, you know, what he was thinking was just like, how could you be such an awful student when you don't have to think about food? You know, it's like you don't have to think about your basic needs at all. Whereas for him, it's like survival, you know, like that was that's how he was raised. And, you know, that generation, especially, it's like you don't factor in passion into the job that you get. It's about survival, it's about duty, and it's about, you know, supporting yourself and your family. That's it. Like, the whole idea of like what makes you happy was unheard of. You don't, it's not about what makes you happy, it's just like what you have to do. And a part of digital literacy and Sharespark Media, which is the business that I'm starting, technology and the internet and social media and all of these things, these apps, like, they allow us opportunity that is just so like completely opposite of what the previous generation had. I could literally create my job, which is what I'm doing, you know, and that's why I'm documenting it, because it's so interesting to me. And I think you guys who are watching could agree. But like they didn't have that, and I don't think my parents, and especially my dad, realizes like, you know, the power of the opportunity that you have, you know? And so when he told me I was behind, I think before I became an entrepreneur, I would have been really pissed. Like, I would have been so bitter and just like shouted and screamed and just have had, like, I would have had like a huge attitude. Come on, Dad, and like, you suck, whatever, you know? But this time it was different, because I know I can't blame him. Like, I can't blame my mom and my dad and my brother for wanting the best for me. If I can get paid a stable salary, why wouldn't I do that? Like, who would willingly jump into the unknown? It just doesn't make any logical sense, you know? And so like and that's how I've lived my life, like, always, you know. I've just been such a headache to raise, and I know that, you know. I've never, it hasn't been easy, but for me, I look at that, I look at my life, and I look at, you know, there must be a reason why it's always been so difficult for me to conform or like go with, you know, the direction that everyone else is going. And I've recognized that as now my uniqueness. Like, that's my strength, and that's what allows me to do this, you know. And I think I'm really good at this, and I've been able to just embrace my oddness and like my misfitness, I guess. Whereas my parents, and especially my dad, still sees me as just like this punk kid who, you know, can't get her ish together. So the essence of starting a business is to make money, but also I have learned so much about myself. I've helped so many people in the past 6 months, you know, and that wasn't even my goal. Like, I love what has happened in the past 6 months, and I had to take a pay cut. I had to make a lot of sacrifices. And knowing that, looking back, would I do it again? Heck yes. Like, sign me up for all of this, because I love the person that I have become. And worst case scenario, if this all doesn't work out, I just go get a job. And then the story ends. And you don't see any other vlogs. And that's it. I'm not gonna be homeless, you know? Like, I wouldn't let that happen. If money got really tight, I would Postmates till Kingdom Come, and it would solve my problem, you know? There was no Postmates for my family when they were growing up, you know? You don't have the luxury or the option of just like, yeah, I could just turn on Uber and make like $200 this weekend. They couldn't do that, you know? So it's like, they just don't know a lot of these things. And who am I to blame? I can't blame them. I can't blame them and like, you know, and I can't, it's so different that I can't even explain it to them. But now there's also an exciting update. So the addendum to what happened was that I had left my parents' house thinking I wouldn't talk to them for like the next 6 months, just because I had given up. I was like, there was nothing, I don't see what I can do to change this. I didn't want to keep going there and feeling bad about something that I don't have to feel bad about. The way I've always lived my life is to not have any regrets. And I knew, like, I think I could just feel it, like, that this whole situation, with my dad especially, had the potential to be something that I would regret for the rest of my life. You know, like, I didn't want to be an estranged daughter or him be like the estranged father just because we couldn't like figure out the common ground, you know? It's like, if I understand why he's looking at me like I am a failure, if I understand that, then can't I make him understand how I feel like I'm successful even though he thinks I'm a failure? You know, like, I just feel like there's a way for us to understand each other. Today, I don't know what happened, but the craziest idea just like slapped me in the face. And I was like, you know what, why not? I have absolutely nothing to lose and this can't get any worse. How can I make him see the impact that I make on people? Like, how could I make him see like how cool all of this is? What if I asked my dad to be my intern? Crazy, right? But the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? Yes, like, that would be such a great idea, because he would be working like side by side with me and seeing everything, like every decision I have to make. I would teach him everything that I know. I would show him, like, you know, here's a typical day. You know, here are all the emails I have to send out. Here's all, like, how I do all my client projects. Here's how I script a vlog. Here's how I edit a vlog. Like, what if I had him see all of this, you know, and just like recognize that I could operate my business off of my phone, you know, like, and how cool that is, like how powerful that is, how much power I have. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, oh my gosh, this is like probably the greatest idea I've ever come up with in my entire entrepreneurial journey. Because like, if I can get that to actually happen, it would have been worth everything. Like, no amount of money in the world, no amount of subscribers, like nothing, like none of that would ever compare to being able to take my relationship with my dad that was like so broken to a point where he would actually put his pride aside and have his like failure of a daughter teach him something he refuses to recognize. Like, how like, really? And I decided to text him. I was like, Dad, look, I've got a really busy week next week, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. I could really use some help, and if you're willing, intern with me for 1 week straight. Give me a chance, and let me just show you what I'm doing. After I sent that text, that's like the most paranoid I've been about like my phone. I'm just like, oh my gosh, has he read it? Did he respond yet? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And when he finally did respond, this is what he said. This is all he said. Just let me know what to do. And I just immediately started crying. Cause okay, my dad isn't gonna be the type of person to like respond and like hit every point and rebuttal and stuff like that. But for him to actually admit like, yes, I'm willing to give you a chance and I'm willing to have you teach me, like, oh my God, I'm just like, I'm so excited, I'm so happy, and I can't even explain to you, like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, this is the craziest thing ever. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I really am so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Ah! So anyway, next week, I have a new intern, and that intern is my dad. before I made this vlog, I was thinking about it like after he had said yes, and I was just like, oh my god, where would I start? Like, what would I have him do? What would I teach him first? And my dad was an engineer. He's been retired for a really, really long time, and you know, that's part of the reason why I feel so badly for him, because he hasn't engaged his mind where he's had to solve problems in a really, really long time. But that's the type of person that he is. Like, he's an engineer, you know, he was always like tinkering with stuff, and I think that's why I even have such a passion for technology, because, you know, he had a video camera when I was growing up, and just by looking at the home movies that he would record, seriously, like, he's a natural vlogger. Wouldn't it be cool if I got him to start a vlog? Oh my god, that would be so cool. Like, he could start a vlog for freaking like immigrant parents of millennials and talk about the struggle that they're freaking, you know, parenting their crazy kids who are like off starting their own businesses and whatever. Like, oh my gosh, I think it would be the coolest thing. But my dad is a very private person, a very conservative person. He's not a man of many words. You know, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I will have him try to edit a vlog. I want him to understand the power of this type of connection, you know? And it's like, you can't really explain it, you just have to do it. Yeah, and I'm gonna have him like do like the tedious stuff, like freaking taking pictures of receipts and doing bookkeeping, and then also helping me come up with strategies for my clients. Like, I'm just so excited. And I even like took it further, and I was like, what if he ends up being like my first employee, you know? And like, what if it ends up being a family business or something? I don't know. I don't know. I'm so excited. To me, the possibilities are endless, and you know, I can't believe that it would actually get to the point where I could sit in the same room with my dad and actually have like a jam sesh, brainstorm sesh about Sharespark. Like, that's the craziest thing, you know? And I don't know, I have no idea, like, I haven't talked to him, you know? It's just this exchange of text, and he's literally responded one sentence. So I don't know if he's gonna be like even open to it, but just the way that I see it is I do want to try to keep it very professional, because like, we're still recovering from Christmas, okay? So I don't want to just, you know, I'm very emotional and like expressive, and he's not, so I want to be very conscious of that. I don't want to scare him away, you know? But I do want him to, I want to be able to give him opportunity, you know, and like make him feel empowered and valuable. What if he, oh my god, I'm so excited. Like, what if he starts his own business? He becomes an entrepreneur. Where did I get this, you know? Like, there has to be some aspect of him that was passed down to me, so I'm sure he could do this too. And I'm so thankful. Like, Christmas was really hard. I can't believe that I actually lived a Christmas that I spent completely alone. But if that meant that this would happen, I'm just really excited. And like, if there's anyone that I would ever want to empower and inspire, it would be my family, you know? That's why entrepreneurship, it's not just you. It really isn't. Like, it's not just your own journey. That you affect people. You really do. And, you know, I'm happy of how much of an impact this journey has made on me, but I'm so happy about the impact that I know that this journey is also making on other people. And I just know that it's gonna be, oh my god, like, I'm so excited. If you have any ideas of like what I could, you know, assign to my dad, please let me know. I'm so excited. Like I said, I think I want to hopefully have him do like one vlog. But to get him to be in front of the camera and talk to it like this, oh man, that would be a stretch. But a girl can dream, clearly, because look how far we've come. So to all of you who watched my last video and left me such heartfelt, thoughtful comments, you don't understand like how much they mean to me. They really do. And especially on Christmas, like, where I felt completely alone. You know, it's an incredible thing that I was able to find comfort in complete strangers that I've never seen before. And I know that's kind of weird, but it really, it really did mean a lot to me. It really did. Anyway, I gotta edit this and try to upload it before midnight. And I've been filming for so long, so I will catch you guys next time. Bye. Alexa, what is your New Year's resolution?
In the new year, I'm going to spend more time stargazing and thinking about the wonders still out there that we've yet to discover.
What was that?